Blood is a bodily fluid that delivers necessary substances to the cells and transports metabolic waste products away from the same cells. It's like a river of food and toxic waste. When it reaches the lungs, gas exchange occurs. Carbon dioxide is diffused out of the blood and oxygen is diffused into the blood. This oxygenated blood is pumped to the left-hand side of the heart and enters the left atrium. That is why the heart attack is felt at the left arm sooner than in any other place.
Blood accounts for about 7% of the human body. By volume, the red blood cells constitute about 45% of blood, the plasma about 54.3%, and white cells about 0.7% of the volume.
The red blood cells develop in the bone marrow and circulate for about 100 days in the body before their components are recycled. Red blood cells are the most common type of blood cell and the principal means of delivering oxygen to the body. The cytoplasm is rich in haemoglobin, an iron-containing biomolecule that can bind oxygen and is responsible for the rusty red color of the cells. The cell membrane is composed of proteins and lipids. This elastic structure provides properties essential for physiological cell function such as deform-ability and stability, while traveling along the capillary network. If it was otherwise, the red blood cells would just clog up the system and stay put.
White blood cells are the cells of the immune system that are involved in protecting the body against infectious diseases. All leukocytes are produced and derived from stem cells inside of the bones. 5 different and diverse types of leukocytes exist. These types are distinguished by their physical shape and function within the body.
Thrombocytes are a component of blood whose function is to stop bleeding by clogging up blood vessel injuries. Platelets have no cell nucleus. They are fragments of the cytoplasm in the bone marrow. The main function of thrombocytes is to stop all accidental bleeding, aside from menstruation. An arterial thrombus may obstruct blood flow and cause tissue death if the thrombocytes play a hard game. So be nice to kamikaze thrombocytes.
About 55% of blood is the blood plasma medium, which by itself is yellowish in color. The blood plasma volume totals of about 3 liters in an average human. It is essentially 92% water and 8% blood plasma proteins. Plasma dissolves nutrients, such as glucose, amino acids, and fatty acids. Plasma removes waste products, such as carbon dioxide, urea, and lactic acid. So be nice to your blood plasma, or else it will now move the trash out of the body. The term serum refers to plasma from which the clotting proteins have been removed. Most of the proteins remaining are albumin and immunoglobulins.
Blood pH is regulated to stay within the narrow range of 7.35 to 7.45 pH. Blood that has a pH below 7.35 is too acidic. Blood pH above 7.45 is too basic. So be careful with acidic food, sugar and hard booze, or else your own blood will betray you. Blood is circulated around the body through blood vessels by the pumping action of the heart. In humans, blood is pumped from the strong left side of the pump.
In vertebrates, the various cells of blood are made in the bone marrow in a process called hematopoiesis. Be nice to your bones, they make the most essential thing for healthy life. Red blood cell production is limited to the larger bones. Under normal conditions at rest, the blood leaving the lungs is about 98% saturated with oxygen. Then again, what is normal, and who is 100% healthy all the time?
In insects, the blood is not involved in the transport of oxygen. Insect blood moves nutrients to the tissues and removes waste products in an open system. Insects win on a small scale. Substances other than oxygen can bind to the hemoglobin. In some cases this can cause irreversible damage to the body. Carbon monoxide, for example, is extremely dangerous because carbon monoxide irreversibly binds to hemoglobin. So, be very careful with things that burn on a low flame and produce carbon monoxide and smoke.
A blood test is a laboratory analysis performed on a blood sample. Some blood tests that measure glucose or a lipid profile Require fasting of 8 to 12 hours prior to the drawing of the blood sample. For the majority of blood tests, blood is usually obtained from the patient's vein. Saliva testing could eventually replace some blood tests, as saliva contains 20% of the proteins found in blood. Be happy, eat healthy, and keep the blood flowing with some sporty efforts that will create a good capillary system. Thank you for supporting the Creative Commons movement, and have fun.